I saved the alien woman's life, but I didn't know she was a princess. Ethan Hale never expected to find an alien dying in the dust. The mining world of Kestrel 9 was quiet most days, too quiet. The wind pushed red sand across broken rocks, and the sky stayed a dull orange from morning to night. Humans had been here for 20 years, pulling metals out of the ground and sending them back to Earth. No one thought this place mattered, not to governments, not to aliens. Not to anyone important. That was why Ethan almost ignored the emergency signal. It came through his scanner while he was repairing a collapsed solar tower. The signal was weak, broken, and not listed in any human database. That alone made it strange. Ethan frowned and wiped sweat from his face. Most people on Kestrel 9 did not send distress calls. They either handled their problems or died quietly. Ethan packed his tools anyway. He drove his crawler far past the mining zone, toward an area marked as geologically unstable. The scanner kept beeping, pulling him forward. After an hour, he saw something half buried in the sand. It was not human. The shape was smooth, silver-black, like melted metal frozen in place. A ship, small, broken. Ethan stepped out carefully, hand resting near his emergency cutter. His heart beat fast, but not from fear, from curiosity. The ship had burned through the atmosphere badly. One side was torn open. Smoke drifted out in thin lines. Inside, something moved. Ethan climbed in. The alien woman lay against the far wall. She was bleeding. Dark blue blood soaked into the floor. Her breathing was shallow, uneven. Her skin was pale violet, her face sharp but strangely gentle. Long white hair was stuck to her skin with blood. She was alive. Barely. Ethan froze. This was first contact, not on a clean station, not with diplomats. Just him, a rescue engineer with basic medical training and no backup. He swallowed and forced himself to move. "Okay," he muttered. "Okay, don't die, please don't die." Her suit was damaged. He cut it open carefully, trying not to hurt her more. The wounds were bad, burns. Deep cuts, internal damage, maybe. Human medicine should not work on an alien, but Ethan did not have a choice. He used what he knew. He stopped the bleeding. He cleaned the wounds. He used human medical gel, hoping it would not poison her. He stabilized her breathing with a portable oxygen mixer, adjusting it until her body reacted less violently. For hours he worked. At one point her eyes opened. They were silver. She looked at him with confusion and fear. Her mouth moved and strange sounds came out. Ethan raised his hand slowly. "It's okay," he said softly. "I'm not hurting you, I'm trying to help." She watched him closely. Her breathing slowly became steadier. When she passed out again, Ethan finally allowed himself to sit down. He had just saved an alien life. He did not know that decision would change everything. He moved her to an abandoned maintenance shelter near the old mines. No one went there anymore. The walls were thick, and scanners barely worked inside. Ethan hid her ship under sand and metal sheets. When she woke again, it was night. She tried to sit up and failed. Ethan was there instantly. "Easy," he said. "You're safe for now." She stared at him, then around the room. Fear flickered across her face, then something else. Confusion, curiosity. "You are human," she said slowly. Her voice was weak but clear. She spoke in broken English, her accent strange. Ethan blinked. "You speak English?" She nodded slightly. "Trade language I studied." "Good," Ethan said, relieved. "That makes this easier." She tried to move again. Pain crossed her face. "You are injured," she said. "Yeah," Ethan replied. "Pretty badly. You would have died if I didn't find you." She went very still, her eyes locked onto his. "You saved me," she said. "Yes," Ethan answered simply. "Why?" He frowned. "Because you were hurt." "That is not an answer," she said. Ethan shrugged. "It's the only one I've got." She studied him for a long moment as if trying to understand something impossible. Finally, she spoke again. "My name is Lysara." "Ethan," he said. "Ethan Hale." They sat in silence for a while, then the ground shook. Distant thunder rolled through the shelter. Ethan stiffened. He checked his scanner, multiple signals, not human. Lysara felt it too, her face hardened. "They are here," she whispered. "Who?" Ethan asked. She hesitated. "Those who destroyed my ship," Ethan swore under his breath. "Figures." Alien patrol drones passed overhead. Their lights cut through the night sky. Ethan turned off all power. "Why are they hunting you?" he asked quietly. Lysara looked away. "I cannot say." "That's not comforting." "I know." The next day, Ethan sneaked out to get supplies. He avoided cameras, avoided people. When he returned, Lysara was standing, leaning against the wall. She was stronger already. Human medicine was working, somehow. "You heal fast," Ethan said. She looked down at her hands. Your methods are aggressive, inelegant, effective. He smiled slightly. That's humanity for you. More ships arrived in orbit. This time everyone noticed. The human colony leaders panicked. Official messages came out telling people to stay calm, telling them to cooperate. Ethan intercepted an alien broadcast by accident. His equipment was old, modified. It caught things it should not. The message froze his blood. Target confirmed, royal genetic markers verified, termination authorized if retrieval fails. Royal. Ethan stared at the screen. That night he confronted her. You're not just some random alien, he said. They're calling you royal. Lysara closed her eyes. I did not wish to burden you, she said quietly. Are you a princess? Ethan asked. She opened her eyes and met his gaze. Yes, Ethan laughed once, sharp and disbelieving. You've got to be kidding me. I am not, she said. An alien princess crashes on my planet and I patch her up with duct tape and gel, he muttered. Of course. They will not stop, Lysara continued. My death would give them excuse to claim your world, to punish humanity for interference. Ethan went cold. So by saving you, he said slowly, I put my entire species in danger. Yes, he ran a hand through his hair. Fantastic. Outside, heavy footsteps approached, not drones, troops. They are here, Lysara said. Ethan looked at her. She was trying to stand straight, trying to be strong. No, he said. They're here for you. He made a decision. You're leaving, he said. What? I'll distract them. You get to your ship. It cannot fly, she said. I'll fix it, he replied. I fix things, that's what I do. They will kill you, she said. Maybe, Ethan answered. But they'll have to go through me first. The door exploded inward. Tall armored aliens flooded the shelter, weapons raised. Ethan stepped forward, hands visible. I'm the one you want, he shouted. I helped her, take me. The soldiers hesitated. Behind him, Lysara stared in shock. Ethan did not turn around. She is under my protection, he said, voice shaking but steady. If you want her, you answer to me. The lead alien lowered its weapon slightly. A human, it said with surprise, challenging us. Ethan smiled grimly. Yeah, he said, get used to it. And above the planet, massive alien warships began to descend. Part 1 ends here. The alien soldiers surrounded Ethan in seconds. Their armor was tall and sharp, made to frighten weaker species. Their weapons hummed with quiet power. Any one of them could kill him without effort. Ethan stood anyway. Behind him, Lysara took an unsteady step forward, then stopped. Her hands trembled. She had never seen a being do this before. A human, standing alone, facing death without orders, without hope of victory. The lead alien stepped closer. Its voice was calm, cold, and amplified. You are insignificant, it said. Step aside. Ethan shook his head. No, the alien tilted its head. You do not understand. Oh, I understand, Ethan replied. You want her, you think you can take her, and you think I don't matter. The alien paused. That is correct, it said. Ethan took a breath. His heart was pounding so hard he could feel it in his ears. She's not yours, he said. Not today. The soldiers raised their weapons. Lysara stepped forward then, her voice sharp despite her weakness. Stand down. The command carried weight. The soldiers froze. I am Lysara of the Imperial Throne, she said. By ancient law, you will not spill blood in my presence without cause. The lead alien hesitated. Princess, your return is required. My return will happen when I decide, Lysara replied. Lower your weapons. Slowly, unwillingly, they did. Ethan exhaled. He hadn't realized he was holding his breath. Moments later, the sky above Kestrel 9 burned bright. Massive alien warships descended into orbit. Their presence pressed down on the planet like a threat made real. The human colony went silent. Communication channels filled with panic. Human leaders sent messages immediately. They offered cooperation, apologies, explanations. They offered Ethan. Ethan watched the message on a cracked screen inside the shelter. Yeah, he muttered, that figures. Lysara saw it too. They would sacrifice you, she said softly. Ethan shrugged. From their point of view, it makes sense. It is wrong, she said. Welcome to politics, he replied. The alien empire demanded a formal hearing. It would be held aboard the flagship in orbit. Lysara was summoned. Ethan was taken as evidence. They restrained him, but not roughly. The aliens were cautious now, curious. On the flagship, everything was vast, smooth metal, endless halls. Alien beings of many kinds watched Ethan as he was led forward. Some stared with interest, others with quiet fear. Lysara walked beside him. She wore no crown, no symbols, yet every alien moved aside for her. The hearing chamber was enormous. A circle of towering figures surrounded a central platform. These were the high authorities of the Empire, rulers, generals, judges. Ethan felt very small. "You are the human who interfered," one of them said. "Yeah," Ethan replied, "that's me." "You risked war," another said. "I saved a life," Ethan answered. "You did not know who she was," a third voice said. "No," Ethan said, "and I didn't care." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Lysara stepped forward. "That is the truth, he did not know. He acted without reward, without fear of consequence." "This species is primitive," a judge said, "emotion-driven, dangerous." "Yet effective," another replied. "He saved you, princess." Lysara turned to Ethan. "Do you understand what you have done?" she asked him quietly. He met her eyes. "I kept someone from dying." She nodded, then she faced the council. "By ancient imperial law," Lysara said, "a life saved without knowledge of rank creates a life debt." The chamber fell silent. "That law is symbolic," a voice argued. "It is binding," Lysara replied. "Even now," Ethan blinked. "Life debt?" Lysara glanced at him. "It means my life is bound to yours. Harm to you is harm to me." The council erupted into argument. The Empire had never faced this before. No lower species had ever saved royalty without knowing. No one had ever forced the law to activate. "And there is more," Lysara continued. She raised her hand. Images filled the air, human actions across history, disasters, wars, rescues, sacrifices. "This species saves strangers," she said. "They fight when defeat is certain. They adapt with broken tools and limited time. They do not submit easily," a general scoffed. "They are weak." Lysara turned sharply. "Then why are you afraid?" Silence again. The truth hung heavy in the air. Humanity was not powerful now, but it would be, and it would remember who threatened it. Ethan shifted uncomfortably. "I didn't do any of this to make a point," he said. "I just didn't want her to die." That, more than anything, unsettled them. After long debate, the ruling was given. The Empire would not attack humanity, not because humans were strong, but because they were unpredictable, and because the princess had chosen. Lysara stepped forward one last time. "Ethan Hale," she said, loud enough for all to hear, "is under my protection. Any harm to humanity will be considered a direct act of aggression against the imperial throne." The decision echoed through the galaxy. Ethan was returned to Kestrel 9 days later. No medals. No parades, just a quiet landing and a tired man stepping back into dust and wind. Lysara did not stay. Before leaving, she met him one last time at the edge of the mining zone. "I must return," she said. "My people will change, slowly, but they will remember this." Ethan nodded. "Take care of yourself." She hesitated, then placed a small device in his hand. "If humanity ever needs us," she said, "call." Ethan looked at the device, then back at her. "You know," he said, "I'd do it again." She smiled, a real smile. "I know," she said. Her ship rose into the sky and vanished among the stars. Life on Kestrel 9 returned to normal, but far beyond it the galaxy adjusted its records. Humanity was no longer ignored, it was watched. Because the species that would stand unarmed before an empire to protect a stranger was not a species meant to kneel. And the stars had noticed. The galaxy did not forget Kestrel 9. For a long time, nothing seemed to change. The mines kept running, ships came and went. Ethan Hale returned to his work, fixing broken machines and patching old systems together. People spoke about the alien ships less and less, like a bad dream that faded with time. But far beyond human space, the story spread. An empire that had ruled for thousands of years had been forced to stop. Not by fleets, not by weapons, by a single human who refused to step aside. Alien observers were sent quietly into human systems. They watched colonies, trade stations, and old Earth itself. What they saw disturbed them. Humans argued constantly, but when danger appeared, they worked together without orders. They built things that should not work and made them work anyway. They laughed in the face of problems that would break other species. And most concerning of all, they did not know when to stop. Lysara stood before the Imperial Council again, weeks after her return. This time, she did not come as a wounded survivor. She came as a voice of warning. "Humanity is still young," she said. "But they grow faster than we expect. If we treat them as lesser, we will create an enemy." One council member leaned forward. "And if we treat them as equals?" Lysara thought of Ethan, of his simple words, of the way he stood alone in front of armed soldiers. "Then we may gain allies who will not abandon us," she said. Back on Kestrel 9, Ethan felt the change before he understood it. Strange ships appeared at the edge of the system. They did not attack. They watched. Human sensors detected them and panic followed. The memory of orbiting warships was still fresh. Ethan was called in by the colony leaders. "You have experience," one of them said carefully. "With them." "That's one way to put it," Ethan replied. "They are requesting contact," another leader added. "And they specifically asked for you," Ethan sighed. "Of course they did." The meeting took place on a neutral platform in orbit, a small one, no weapons, no armies. Ethan walked in wearing his old work jacket. Across from him stood an alien delegation. Tall, sharp-featured, controlled. "We bring a message," the lead alien said, "from the Imperial throne." Ethan crossed his arms. "Let me guess, don't do anything stupid or you'll erase us." The alien paused. "No," that caught Ethan off guard. "The Empire wishes to establish limited cooperation," the alien continued. "Observation, exchange, preparation." "For what?" Ethan asked. "For what is coming," the alien replied. That was how humanity learned the truth. Beyond known space, something vast was moving. An ancient force that consumed systems without reason or communication. Entire civilizations had vanished. Even the Empire feared it. "We have survived by strength and distance," the alien said, "but we are running out of both." Ethan felt a cold weight settle in his chest. "And you think we can help?" "Yes," the alien answered, "because humans fight when logic says they should run." The cooperation began slowly. Human engineers were invited to alien shipyards. Alien scientists observed human manufacturing. Both sides were shocked. Aliens had better technology. Humans had better ideas. Humans improved alien systems by simplifying them, removing unnecessary complexity, making repairs faster, making weapons adaptable instead of perfect. Alien commanders began requesting human advisors. Lysara watched it all from afar. She knew this moment would come. She returned to human space openly this time aboard a diplomatic vessel. Her arrival was broadcast across Earth and its colonies. Ethan met her again on Kestrel 9, standing in the same dust where he had first found her. "You look healthier," he said. "You look the same," she replied. "Tired, stubborn?" "Occupational hazard," she smiled. They walked together through the colony. Humans stared, whispered, but no one ran, no one bowed. "They are not afraid of you," Lysara said. "They're afraid of a lot of things," Ethan replied. "You're just not one of them anymore." The threat arrived sooner than expected. The first system went dark without warning. No explosion, no signal, just silence. Human ships were the first to respond. Against all advice, human captains jumped toward the unknown. They did not wait for permission. They did not wait for full plans. They went because someone might still be alive. What they found was worse than expected. The enemy did not speak, did not negotiate. It adapted instantly. It learned from every attack. Alien fleets suffered heavy losses trying to fight it head-on. Humans did not fight it head-on. They used traps, sacrificial drones. False signals. They lured it into gravity wells and unstable stars. They broke their own ships if it meant slowing the enemy. Alien commanders watched in horror and amazement. "This is madness," one said. Ethan, now part of a joint command team, shook his head. "No. This is survival." The turning point came during a battle near a dying star. The enemy fleet advanced, unstoppable. Alien weapons failed. Human weapons failed. So humans changed the rules. They overloaded the star, not to destroy the enemy, but to blind it. The light and radiation scrambled its sensors. For the first time, it hesitated. That hesitation was enough. Combined fleets struck together. Humans led boarding actions. Aliens provided cover. The enemy retreated. For the first time in recorded history, it withdrew. The galaxy breathed again. After the battle, silence filled the command chamber. Lysara looked at Ethan. "Your species is terrifying," she said quietly. Ethan rubbed his face. "Yeah, we get that a lot." The Empire made a declaration soon after. Humanity was no longer classified as a minor species. It was recognized as a strategic equal, not because of power, but because of will. Ethan declined every offer of rank or title. "I'm not built for that," he said. "I just fix things." Lysara understood. Before she left again, she stood with him under the stars. "You changed the course of more than one life," she said. "More than one world." Ethan looked up at the sky. "I just didn't walk away." "That," she said, "is why the galaxy will remember you." As her ship lifted into the dark, Ethan felt something new, not pride, responsibility. Humanity had stepped onto the galactic stage, not as conquerors, not as victims. but as the species that refused to kneel, refused to abandon, and refused to be small. And whatever waited beyond the stars would learn the same lesson others already had. Humans do not back down. They adapt. They endure. And once they care, they never let go. The war did not end after the first victory. That was something both humans and aliens learned quickly. The enemy did not return in the same way. It did not rush forward or challenge fleets directly. Instead, it changed. It learned. Entire outposts vanished without warning. Supply lines collapsed. Navigation systems failed in deep space for no clear reason. Fear spread faster than any signal. Ethan Hale stood inside a joint command station built between human and alien space. It was unfinished, rough, full of cables and exposed walls. Humans had built it fast. Aliens had improved it. It was not beautiful, but it worked. Reports flickered across the screens. Another colony lost contact, another system silent. Ethan clenched his jaw. "It's probing us," he said, "testing reactions." Lysara stood beside him, her hands folded calmly, though her eyes showed concern. "It is learning how we think." "Then we stop thinking the same way," Ethan replied. Human commanders listened closely. Alien officers did too. That alone would have been unthinkable a year ago. A human scout ship returned damaged but intact. Its captain had news. "The enemy ignored our weapons," the captain said, "but it reacted when we changed patterns, random jumps, unstable signals. It hesitated." "That means it predicts," Ethan said, "and prediction can be broken." The next weeks were chaos by design. Human fleets stopped following formation rules. They rotated command positions. They changed communication codes daily. They introduced errors on purpose, mistakes that were not mistakes. Alien commanders hated it, but it worked. The enemy slowed. Lysara watched humans closely during this time, not during battles, but between them. She saw crews sharing food with alien allies, engineers teaching without being asked, pilots joking hours before combat. They were afraid. They just did not let fear decide for them. The enemy finally struck back in force. A joint defense station near a populated world was targeted. Evacuation was incomplete. Millions were still on the surface. Alien fleets prepared for a defensive stand. Human commanders made a different call. "We draw it away," Ethan said. "That station will fall," an alien general warned. "Yes," Ethan replied, "but the planet won't." Human ships rushed forward, broadcasting false data, false energy signatures, false threats. They made themselves look important. The enemy followed. The station was destroyed. Human ships took heavy losses, but the world survived. For the first time, alien civilians saw humans die for non-human lives. Something changed after that. Volunteers flooded recruitment channels. Not for glory, not for revenge, for protection. Ethan was promoted without asking. He accepted without ceremony. The enemy adapted again. This time it targeted leadership. Command ships vanished. Communication hubs were erased with precision. Panic threatened to break the alliance. Ethan saw the pattern too late. "Decapitation strikes," he muttered. "They're trying to break coordination." Lysara turned to him. "Then stop leading." "What?" "Remove the head," she said. "Let the body move on its own." The idea was dangerous. It was also human. Command was decentralized. Every ship received full authority to act independently. Plans were reduced to simple goals. Survive, protect, delay. The enemy struggled. It could not predict chaos born from shared intent. A battle near a shattered moon became the symbol of the war. Outnumbered, human and alien ships held position far longer than expected. They rotated damaged vessels to the rear. Shared power, shared oxygen, shared risk. When ammunition ran out, they rammed. When engines failed, they became shields. When hope faded, they fought anyway. The enemy withdrew again. This time, it did not return quickly. Months passed. Rebuilding began. Human worlds expanded defenses. Alien worlds opened borders. Technology merged. Cultures mixed awkwardly but honestly. Ethan visited Earth for the first time in years. He stood on real grass, feeling wind that did not carry dust. People recognized him, but they did not cheer. They nodded. They thanked him quietly. He preferred that. Lysara walked beside him through a city park. Children stared at her, curious, not afraid. "Your people adapt faster than any I've known," she said. "We don't really have a choice," Ethan replied. They stopped near a memorial wall. Names from many species were carved into it. Lysara touched one gently. "History will remember this age," she said, "as the moment the galaxy stopped standing alone." Ethan nodded. Or the moment we all learned we could. The enemy was not gone, everyone knew that, but it was wounded and afraid. Scouts detected movement far beyond known space. Retreat, consolidation, preparation. A final confrontation was coming. This time, humanity was not unnoticed. It was expected. Ethan returned to the stars. He stood on the bridge of a ship that carried no single flag. Human design, alien engines, shared purpose. Lysara addressed the fleet before departure. "We do not fight for dominance," she said. "We fight so that others may choose their own future." Human pilots nodded. Alien captains lowered their heads in respect. As the fleet jumped into the unknown, Ethan felt the same feeling he had that first day in the dust. Fear and resolve. He had saved one life once. Now he was helping save countless others. The galaxy had learned many lessons since then. That strength does not always come from power. That leadership does not always come from rank. That a species willing to stand unarmed before an empire would stand together against the dark. And somewhere beyond the stars, something ancient was learning a new truth. This galaxy was no longer easy prey, because humanity was here, not as rulers, not as destroyers, but as the ones who would not look away. And that made all the difference.